Okay, so let's just do some reading app work on on the sections or chapters that you're going to read. So in the forethought, what I've highlighted here is, some of his rhetorical moves that he makes. But the important thing in the first couple pages, the forethought in chapter one, are these two conceptual metaphors that he's going to work with. Okay, and they're similar, they're connected to each other, right? So I just sort of refer to them as one thing. The first thing is the idea of veil, right? And so he will constantly reference that. So you want to think about what what is a veil, first of all. What does it do in terms of the person behind the veil seeing, and also the person who is looking at someone who has a veil in terms of seeing, right? And you want to think about this. So a veil operates in a very concrete way, but how does it work on a metaphorical or existential or psychological level? Okay, so the veil he opens up there, and then he also says in the forethought here he talks about the epigraphs, the sorrow songs, right? That he begins with each chapter, and which I'll get to in a second. And then he ends the forethought by reminding us, the reader, right, that he too lives within the veil. And that's something you want to think about. Why, does he have to say that, or why does he feel he has to say that? Okay, so keep that in mind as he's working with this idea of the veil, and then that goes into um, the idea of double consciousness. So double consciousness is this concept along with the veil that goes throughout the whole text, right? It's in every chapter, right? But he's not always directly referring to it, but in the forethought in chapter one, he more or less defines it and spends a lot of time with it, right? So here on our spiritual strivings, right, is where he has the famous sort of discussion or definition of double consciousness, right? So this is on page 8, and then to page 9 is where it ends. But again, it goes through the um, the whole chapter, right? The forethought there. So you want to take a look at this and spend some time on it, right? And what is he saying here? Do you buy it? Do you think it's useful, right? And and is it still useful, really, right, in the 21st century now, right? So see some of my DB comments to get you to think about that.